Inside Out, written by Patricia Toulson, narrated by Colette Redgrave. Chapter 1. We always said you could count the trees on Clapham Common. Yet even here adventures could happen. Secret paths followed and dens made, for it was in this place that in the late summer of 1951, when I was 5 years old, a bizarre accident determined my future career. Halfway across the green sward was a large murky pond, where we fished with sixpenny nets on bamboo canes for tiddlers, transferring any precious catch to a string-handled jam jar along with a sprig of dark green weed immersed in smelly, bitty water. Here we sailed James's small wooden yacht with its 2 white cotton sails, pulled along by a length of twine in case his wonderful birthday present from Granny floated out too far or, heaven forbid, sank. And it was here that we came for the last picnic of that summer. The picnic was over, so while our mother packed everything away, James and I played chase just beyond the pond, where there was a steep slope, supporting several of the few substantial trees. James, who was 4 years older than me, darted expertly in and out of their stiff, wide trunks, closing fast the gap between us. In my excitement to escape my brother's clutches, I ran too fast down the incline, pitching forward over unsteady, chubby legs, and then calamitously thrust my chin full force into the harsh bark of one of these very few measurable trees. I can't recall the journey to the casualty department of the famous St. Thomas's Hospital in South London that followed, but I vividly remember being taken down to the typically placed basement X-ray department of the hospital, where great water pipes ran the lengths of those deep-sighted corridors for a series of jaw X-rays. 2 lovely ladies, radiographers in gleaming white dresses with bright red belts adorning their waists, then twisted and turned my head in all sorts of unusual ways to get the pictures they wanted. I was fascinated. They, of course, were delighted that instead of screams of fear I wanted to know what was happening, wondering how they could see what was inside my face. I tried very hard to keep as still as possible, determinedly obeying their instructions, but for them, keeping me from asking questions was much harder. As a treat for my good behaviour, they rewarded me with a tour of the wet room, a well-lit area where the X-ray films came out of the darkroom to be viewed and washed ready for drying. I never forgot the peculiar smell of chemicals being washed off in large water tanks, while large and small dripping black and white shiny sheets were being held up for inspection against special light boxes. It was all very mysterious and thrilling. I wanted to look like those pretty ladies wearing white dresses with their red belts nipping in their waists and take magic pictures that saw right inside you. Now, today it was 8:40 a.m. on the first Monday in September 1962, just as that future was about to begin. This was the first time a new school term was of no importance to me. Instead, an unknown journey, a new life could just be waiting for me across the street. There, on the opposite side, stood an imposing grey stone building, its 3 stories of multi-paned, white-framed windows portraying an elegant Georgian facade. 4 white central columns, 2 either side, framed the deep blue entrance doors. That autumnal morning, sunlight flickered across the glazing, giving it a pleasant sparkle, lifting my spirits. I took a long look before I made what struck me as symbolic footsteps crossing to the other side. Would this prove to be a decisive move forward in my life? Today, at 16 years of age, I realised my childhood would be left behind once I stepped beyond those imposing double doors. My heart skipped beats in nervous anticipation whilst I stood looking up at the stone portico plinth above the entrance engraved with the name Unabridged General Hospital. "Now then, girls, shoulders back, head high," rang the voice of our deportment mistress, Miss James, her words echoing in my head. "Pride in your school and yourselves at all times. Carry yourselves well. Keep your back straight, however tall you are," she insisted, eyes directed firmly.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?